Have you ever noticed what makes someone crave your attention, recognize your worth, and suddenly desire you more than ever? It's at the moment you decide that enough is enough. It's when you choose to move on, push yourself, and focus on your own growth. It's as if they are struck by a bolt of regret, realizing what they have lost, and then they start chasing you, obsessing over you, as if you were the only thing that matters. They may not have come after you before, but now they can't imagine life without you. That is the power of stepping back, reclaiming your strength, and allowing them to feel the full weight of your absence. But here's the harsh truth. This isn't just a twist of fate. Yes, my stoic warriors. It is the consequence of reclaiming your power, stepping back, and allowing them to feel the immense void created by your absence. When you redirect your energy toward yourself, you force them to face the painful reality of your absence. They are compelled to confront the unsettling realization that they took you for granted, and now they can't bear the thought of losing you. As the saying goes, don't chase. Let them realize they need you, not the other way around. And it doesn't stop there. As you continue to focus on yourself, you become even more magnetic, even more desirable. It's as if someone lights a spark in their minds, and they are drawn to you through your silence, longing for your attention. They begin to see what they are losing, and the regret only deepens. They find themselves desiring your attention, yearning for a connection they didn't value when they had it. So if you're ready to harness this power and make them realize how much they need you, then get prepared. Let's dive into 9 integral truths that will show you exactly why they only want you once you don't want them. This isn't just about tipping the scale, it's about taking control. Let's reveal the strategies that will put you in charge of your own life. But before we dive in, here's a challenge to set the stage for what's to come. If you're ready to become that person who effortlessly occupies their thoughts, leave a comment below with the phrase, "I deserve better." This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a commitment to mastering these stoic skills and becoming someone unforgettable. Let your thoughts and actions leave such a powerful impression that they can't help but think of you over and over again. Let's see who's ready to adopt this mindset and begin mastering the art of becoming an irresistible thought in someone's mind. Let's get started. 1. The power of absence. So, friends, let's dive into the first point on our list, the power of absence. Now, you might be thinking, really, just by being absent, someone will want me more? And the answer is a resounding yes. Let's break it down and see why this seemingly simple concept holds so much power. You see, when you're always present, sending messages, calling, showing up, they begin to take you for granted. It's like having Wi-Fi. You only realize its importance when it's gone. Your constant presence becomes something they assume will always be there, like that extra slice of pizza in the fridge, until suddenly it's gone, and that's when things start to get interesting. Picture this. You're always available, always there when they need a shoulder to lean on or someone to hang out with. They know you'll answer the phone at 2 a.m. if they call. They know you'll drop everything to spend time with them. But then one day, you decide to take a step back, focus on your own life, on your own growth, and you stop being so available. Suddenly, that guaranteed tension vanishes, and they're left wondering what happened. This is where the power of absence comes into play. Your absence creates a void, a gap in their life where you used to be. And here's the thing about voids. They don't like feeling empty. They crave being filled. Your absence forces them to confront the space that you occupied in their life, and they start realizing how much they miss your presence. As the wise Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." When you are always there, they think they know everything about you, your availability, your worth. But when you step back, they are forced to reassess. They realize they didn't value you as much as they should have. And that's when they start desiring you even more. Now, let's add a touch of humor here. It's like when your favorite TV show ends with a cliffhanger, leaving you anxious and desperate to know what happens next. Your absence is that cliffhanger in their life. They're left thinking, "I missed the finale. What's going to happen now?" And here's the real kicker. Absence doesn't just make the heart grow fonder. It makes the mind reflect. They start imagining all the things you could be doing without them, all the fun you're having, all the new people you're meeting. Suddenly, they are no longer the stars of your show. And that's when they start wanting to be part of the story again. But let's be clear, this isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about recognizing your own worth. It's about acknowledging that you have value, and that value doesn't diminish just because someone doesn't see it right away. The best revenge is to be different from the one who caused the offense. By stepping back and focusing on yourself, you're not just showing them what they are missing, you're showing yourself what you deserve. So friends, embrace the power of absence. It's a tool, a strategy, but more importantly, it's a reflection of your self-respect. When you take a step back, you're giving them the chance to realize just what they are missing, how much you mean to them. And if they don't recognize it, well, that's their loss, not yours. Keep growing, keep focusing on yourself, and remember that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply be less available. This journey isn't just about making them want you more. It's about ensuring you desire yourself even more. So go ahead, embrace your worth, and let your absence speak louder than words. Because when you value yourself, the right people will begin to value you too. And friends, before we move on to the next point, you might be wondering, why do they only realize your worth when you no longer want them? The answer lies in a situation many of us have faced. You invested time and energy in someone only for them to take you for granted. So, something changes. You decide enough is enough. You stop chasing, stop worrying, and start focusing on yourself. Suddenly, they are hit with a strong realization of your worth and begin to crave your attention. But why does this happen? Why do they only realize your worth when you no longer want them? The answer lies in the psychological and emotional dynamics of human behavior. When you're always available, always giving, people can easily fall into the trap of taking you for granted. They become accustomed to your presence, your attention, and your care. It's human nature to underestimate what is readily available. But the moment you decide to withdraw, reclaiming your energy and focusing it on yourself, everything changes. This shift in dynamics forces them to confront the reality of your absence. Suddenly, what they once took for granted becomes painfully notable. They begin to realize the depth of what they are losing: a reliable presence, a source of support, and perhaps even a source of love. By stepping back and focusing on yourself, you're not only regaining control, you're changing the narrative. When you stop being present, they are left with a void, and that void triggers a deep sense of regret and longing. They start to realize that your value wasn't in your constant presence, but in the uniqueness of what you brought to their lives, something that no one else can replace. This is the moment when they finally begin to see your true value, and it hits them hard. Additionally, as you focus on your growth, you naturally become more magnetic. When your self-confidence grows, your energy shifts, and you start attracting more positivity into your life. This only heightens their regret, because now they see a version of you that is even more desirable but more distant. In essence, they realize your worth when you no longer want them, because you've removed the comfort of your presence. You've allowed them to see what life is like without you, and in that absence, your value becomes tremendously evident. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes stepping back is the most effective way to make someone realize that they can't afford to lose you. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human nature and using it to reclaim your own power and value. I'd love to hear what you think. What questions are running through your mind right now? Share them in the comments. I'm here to help you navigate this journey. And if everything is clear so far, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now get ready to discover what might be the next thing they feel, something that will be even more impactful, so you definitely won't want to miss it. Stick around, because we're just getting to the heart of how your absence can make a profound difference in their lives. 2. The change in dynamics. So, friends, let's move on to the second point, the change in dynamics. This is a true game changer, and it's all about how the balance of power can shift when you decide that you're done chasing. It's like changing the rules in the middle of a game. You go from playing defense to playing offense, and suddenly, they're the ones trying to catch up. Let's paint a picture here. You've been putting in all the effort, messaging first, making plans, bending over backward to keep the relationship going, and essentially you're a one-person cheerleading team. But what happens when you decide, you know what, that's enough? You stop prioritizing them. Instead, You start focusing on yourself. It's like that moment in a movie where the underdog finally realizes their worth and stops trying to impress everyone else. And guess what happens next? The dynamic shifts. Suddenly, you are no longer the one seeking validation. They start sensing the change, and it throws them off balance. This shift is powerful because it forces them to see you in a new light. It's the invincible mindset at work. When you stop relinquishing your power and begin to reclaim it, they cannot help but notice. You're no longer bending to their will, and that makes you incredibly intriguing. Think of it this way. When you're always available and eager, they know exactly where to find you. Supporting, being with them. But when you withdraw, when you stop being so predictable, a sense of mystery is created. Suddenly, they aren't sure if they still have your attention, and that uncertainty can be irresistible. Here's a fun example. Remember that time you were really hooked on a TV show, but then the plot became a bit dull, so you stopped watching? But then a friend tells you that the latest episode had an unexpected twist, and suddenly you're hooked again. You start binge-watching to catch up, all because the show went from predictable to surprising. That's exactly what happens when you change the dynamics in a relationship. You shift from being that constant, predictable presence to someone a bit harder to understand, a bit more interesting. And let's not forget the humor in this situation. It's like when your cat suddenly decides to ignore you, and now you are the one desperately trying to get their attention. You're there with the catnip saying, "Come on, Becco. I'm here, but Becco is busy doing their own thing." And now you're the one feeling left out. That's exactly how they feel when you change the dynamics. Suddenly, they're the ones trying to win you back. But remember, friends, this isn't about manipulation. It's about recognizing that relationships are a two-way street. If you've been putting in all the effort, it's time to let go and see if they're willing to step up. And if they do, great. If not, you've just made space in your life for someone who will appreciate you without needing reminders. So embrace the change in dynamics. It's a powerful reminder that you deserve to be valued not just by others, but by yourself. When you stop chasing, you create space for people to come to you, and those who truly value you will step up to the plate. Keep focusing on your growth, your happiness, and your journey. And remember that you're not just changing the dynamics, you're changing the game. 3. The appeal of independence. So, friends, let's delve into one of the most fascinating aspects of human relationships, the appeal of independence. This concept is a real game changer, and it's absolutely crucial to understand why they suddenly desire you when you no longer want them. Imagine this scenario. You've always been the one reaching out, the one who makes time for them. They have gotten used to it. Perhaps they've even taken it for granted. But then something changes. You decide to focus on yourself, your growth, your happiness, your goals. You stop waiting for their calls, you stop rearranging your life for them, and you start living for you. Here's the key point. Independence is incredibly attractive. It's like flipping a switch in their minds. Suddenly they see you thriving on your own, and it hits them like a ton of bricks. You're no longer just the person who is always there for them. You are someone who is building a life, growing, and shining without needing them. And, friends, that's when the tides start to turn. The one who lives in harmony with themselves lives in harmony with the universe. When you live in harmony with yourself, you radiate a peace and confidence that are undeniably attractive. It's this inner strength that draws people back to you. When they realize they are no longer the center of your universe, it speaks volumes. But why does independence have this effect? It's because independence conveys a different message. When you are independent, you are telling the world, I am valuable on my own. I don't need anyone to complete me. And believe me, people notice that. They start to see what they are missing, a person who is whole, self-sufficient, and living life on their own terms. This is the essence of the appeal of independence. Imagine you're at a party. There's someone who is friendly, chatting with everyone, but not really standing out. Then there's someone else who is confident, comfortable in their own skin, moving through the crowd with ease, not desperate for attention, but fully enjoying themselves. Who would you be more drawn to? Probably the second, right? That's the appeal of independence in action. When you embody independence, you become that person who doesn't need to chase anyone's approval. You are busy pursuing your own dreams, and that is much more attractive. It's this confidence and self-assuredness that makes others want to be part of your life, even if they didn't see your worth before. But let's clarify something. Independence isn't about shutting people out or being distant. It's about prioritizing yourself, your goals, and your well-being. This shift is subtle but powerful. This mindset change transforms how others perceive you. They start to see you as desirable. Not because you are always available, but because you are living a full, rich life that they want to be part of. And here is where magic happens. When you focus on your independence, you naturally attract more positivity and opportunities into your life. You aren't waiting for someone to validate you, because you've already given that validation to yourself. It's in that moment when they start to miss you, longing for the energy and confidence you exude. What's the takeaway here? Embrace your independence, nurture it, and use it as a powerful tool not just to enrich your life, but to make others realize what they lost by not valuing it. Remember, friends, you are your greatest asset. As you continue to grow and thrive on your own, you will discover that those who once didn't value your worth will begin to see it clearly. And by then, it may be too late for them. In the end, living independently is about loving yourself enough to know that you don't need anyone else to validate your worth. So go out there, live your best life, and watch how others come to realize how much they want to be part of it. Stay strong, stay focused, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Your independence isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. 4. The effect of rarity. So, friends, let's dive into our fourth point, the effect of rarity. This is a true game changer, and it touches the core of why they only desire you when you don't want them. You see, people are naturally predisposed to want what they can't easily have. It's like that last slice of pizza that suddenly becomes 10 times more desirable when you realize it's about to disappear. The same principle applies to relationships. When you make yourself less available, you become rare, and that rarity increases your value in their eyes. Imagine this. You're always there, always available, always ready to drop everything for them. They get used to that. They start thinking that your attention is something they can always count on, no matter what. But the moment you pull away, something fascinating happens. Suddenly, they start noticing the space you leave behind. They begin to realize that your presence wasn't something they should take for granted. You transition from being a common presence in their life to something rare and valuable. It's like how we treat everyday items versus rare collectibles. You wouldn't think twice about losing a pen because you can get another one anytime. But if you lose a rare limited edition item, you would feel the loss, right? When you become rare, you stop being that common pen and become that unique item that suddenly they can't stop thinking about. It's not that we have little time to live, it's that we waste a lot of it. When you realize that your time and attention are valuable, you stop giving them away so easily. And believe me, when you start valuing your own time, others will start valuing it too. They begin to see you not just as someone who is always there, but as someone whose presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. Let's lighten this up with a dash of humor. It's like when you were a kid and you ignored your toys until someone else wanted to play with them. Suddenly, that toy became the most interesting thing in the room. Adults are no different. We all want what we think we might lose, and that's exactly what happens when you create a little distance. Now, this doesn't mean you play hard to get or start some type of mental game. It's about genuinely focusing on yourself, on your growth, and on your happiness. When you're not always available, when you're busy living your best life, they can't help but notice your absence. That absence becomes a powerful reminder of your value, and they start craving that presence they once took for granted. Imagine a scenario where you're always sending messages, always available for a call, always making plans. Now flip the script. Imagine you start focusing on your passions, spending time with other friends, investing in your own self. You are no longer the person who's always available, and that's when they start to miss you. They start to wonder what you're doing, why you're not as present, and they begin to crave that connection they once ignored. The effect of rarity reminds us that sometimes less is more. When you stop giving so much of yourself, you give others the chance to miss you, to value you, and to realize what they could lose. It's a powerful tool not just in relationships, but in life in general. So take this as a little motivational nudge. Don't be afraid to step back and let others feel your absence. Focus on yourself and allow them to realize just how wonderful your presence really is. Remember, you're not just anyone. You are someone who deserves to be admired and missed. And when you start treating yourself that way, others will too. 5. The contrast of confidence. So, friends, let's delve into our 5th point, the contrast of confidence. This is where things start to get really interesting. You see, confidence is one of those qualities that is both magnetic and transformative. When you stop loving someone, something remarkable happens. You begin to exude a new level of confidence. And believe me, they can't help but notice. Imagine this scenario. Before, you were completely wrapped up in someone else's world, perhaps a bit insecure, always seeking their approval or attention. But then you make the decision to focus on yourself, to put aside the need for their validation. You start caring less about what they think and more about your own growth, happiness, and well-being. It's as if a switch within you flips. Suddenly, you walk with more assurance, smile more, and radiate a sense of self-confidence that wasn't there before. This change doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, it's overwhelmingly evident. The person who once took you for granted now sees you in a completely different light. You're no longer the person who is always waiting for their attention. Now, you are someone who thrives on your own. And that contrast between who you were when you wanted them and who you are now that you no longer want them creates a powerful shift in how they perceive you. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By reacting to their indifference with confidence and self-assuredness, you are sending a clear message. You don't need them to define your worth. And let me tell you, that's incredibly attractive. Let's add a humorous touch here. Think of it this way. You are a caterpillar that just turned into a butterfly, and they are standing there, awestruck, unable to believe what they see. You've left them wondering where that clumsy little insect went. All of a sudden, they realize that you're not just any butterfly. You're one with vibrant wings, flying high and free, completely out of their reach. Confidence, my friends, is like a beacon of light in a dark room. It draws people in, sparks their curiosity, and leaves them questioning why they didn't see it before. When you stop desiring someone and begin to focus on your own journey, your confidence grows, and with it, their desire for you intensifies. They begin to realize that the person they saw sulking has transformed into someone extraordinary, someone who doesn't need them to feel whole. And here's the trick. This confidence not only attracts them, but it also empowers you. You start to see yourself differently too. You realize that your worth is not tied to others' opinions or affections. You are valuable for who you are, not for who wants you. So let this be your motivation. Embrace your confidence. Let go of the need to be desired, and watch your self-assurance not only transform you, but also change how others see you. You're no longer someone's backup plan. You're the main event, the one they suddenly can't stop thinking about because you're no longer seeking their approval. Remember, friends, confidence is contagious. The more you cultivate it, the more people will be drawn to it. And in the end, you'll discover that the only approval you truly needed was your own. So keep growing, keep shining, and let your confidence be the force that not only attracts but also empowers you to live your best life. 6. The pain of regret. So friends, let's delve into our 6th point, which really hits hard, the pain of regret. Have you ever noticed how people often realize what they had only after they've lost it? It's like the classic, you don't know what you've got until it's gone, but with a twist of stoic wisdom. Picture this. You've been there for someone, supporting them, caring for them, but they didn't value it much. Then one day, you decide enough is enough. You pull away, focus on yourself, and suddenly, BM, they are faced with the harsh reality of what they have lost. It's as if they are walking down a path of memories, but instead of enjoying the walk, they're stumbling over the stones of regret. Regret is a powerful emotion, my friends. It has a way of surfacing out of nowhere and whispering in your ear that you made a mistake. And for them, this isn't just about missing you. It's about the deep pain of knowing they had something wonderful and let it slip away. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. But here's the trick. That ending for them is the beginning of their regret. Let's be real, regret can be a brutal teacher. It forces them to replay all the moments they took you for granted, all the times they didn't appreciate your worth. It's like they're caught in a loop, constantly reliving what they've lost. And it's at this point they start wishing for you more than ever. They long for a second chance, even though they know deep down they may never get one. So if you ever feel undervalued, remember this. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to step back and let them feel the pain of regret. It's not about being cruel. It's about letting them see your true worth. And who knows? That regret could be the spark that ignites a new beginning. One where they finally realize that you were the person they truly needed all along. Stay strong. Focus on your growth. And let the pain of their regret be a testament to your value. You are worth it. 7. The mystery of uncertainty. Here is where the plot thickens, where the threads of curiosity start weaving a fascinating tapestry. Imagine that suddenly you've decided to step back. You've stopped engaging in the conversation, and their mind, that master of speculation, begins to race. What did I do wrong? Why aren't they reaching out? That lack of information, that void you leave, becomes fertile ground for doubts. Remember, uncertainty isn't just an absence. It's a well-served cocktail of intrigue that can drive even the most level-headed souls crazy. We like to feel like we're in control, and when someone opts for distance, it's like having a fundamental piece torn from the puzzle of our lives. Sound familiar? That innate need to complete the picture is what makes the human mind cling even more tightly to the unknown. What was once mundane transforms into a mystery. In this game of power and desire, it's essential to understand that we are often desired more at the moment we disappear. It's like that invisible magnet that pulls gazes, that spark of connection that stirs in the distance. Your absence can become a beacon illuminating the path of their memories, prompting them to rethink what they took for granted. The mind starts seeking answers, turning into an emotional detective, and each wandering thought is another brick in the wall of their intrigue. It's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. In this sense, by distancing yourself, you didn't just change the narrative, you've allowed them to construct their own. The more void there is in communication, the more room there is for speculation. Uncertainty, in this light, becomes a double-edged sword. It can destabilize or, conversely, open the floodgates to desire. So, dear friends, embrace the mystery courageously. Become the maze that no one wants to leave. Let curiosity blossom, and let intrigue be the thread that binds this shared story. Remember, by keeping a little distance, you're not only creating an echo in their memory, you're also whispering that there's still more to discover. So keep the door slightly ajar, and wait for them to return, drawn by that almost mystical magnetism of uncertainty in search of answers. The adventure is just beginning. 8. The role reversal. Now, friends, let's dive into the 8th truth. At this point, they start to panic, wondering if they've truly lost the chance to be with you. The thought races through their mind. Did I just let the best slip away from me? Their soul becomes colored by their thoughts. Well, now those thoughts are tinted with regret, fear, and a desperate yearning to undo the finality of your departure. They will try hard to win you back because the idea of you being gone forever is just too difficult to bear. So here's your motivation, my friend. Keep focusing on yourself and let them feel that fear because it's a powerful reminder of your worth. When you choose yourself, you not just become stronger, but you also become someone they realize they can't afford to lose. These 9 truths illustrate that when you reclaim your power, focus on yourself, and step back, you force others to face the reality of losing you. This isn't just about making them want you. It's about understanding your own worth and helping them see it too, often when it's almost too late. This is truly revealing, and honestly, it's almost poetic how it unfolds. Imagine this. Once you were the one doing the chasing, seeking validation, always there, always available. But then something changes. You decide to step back, focus on yourself, and suddenly, the roles reverse. Now they're the ones chasing after you, trying to win you back. The best revenge is to be different from the one who caused the offense. By ceasing to seek their approval, you put yourself in a position of power. They begin to question, why aren't they chasing me? Have I lost something valuable? And that thought, my friends, changes everything. Imagine you were always the one sending messages first, making plans. But now, you're not reaching out, you're not available, and you can feel the shift. They start texting you, trying to gain your attention, attempting to recover what they previously didn't value. The beauty of this role reversal is that it's not about playing games. It's about recognizing your value. When you focus on yourself, you become the prize. And here's the motivational part. By stepping back, you're not just gaining control. You're teaching them a valuable lesson about your worth. So keep shining, keep focusing on your growth, and watch how the roles naturally shift in your favor. You can do it. 9. The fear of finality. So, friends, let's explore our 9th truth, the fear of finality. When you finally decide to move on, there's a moment of absolute panic that sweeps over them. It's like a sudden realization that, wait, this could really be it. And believe me, nothing makes someone desire you more than the fear of losing you for good. Imagine this. You've stopped reaching out, you've stopped worrying, and you've begun living your best life. They see you thriving, and suddenly the thought creeps in. What if they can't reach you anymore? It's a classic case of you don't know what you have until it's gone. In that moment, they start to panic, questioning whether they've really lost the chance to be with you. They just let something great slip through their fingers. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Well, now their thoughts are colored with regret, fear, and a desperate longing to undo the finality of your departure. They will make an effort, trying to win you back because the notion of you being gone forever is simply too hard to bear. So here's your motivation, my friend. Keep focusing on yourself and let them feel that fear because it's a powerful reminder of your worth. When you choose yourself, you don't only become stronger, you also become someone they realize they can't afford to lose. Each step towards your own growth, each moment you dedicate to caring for your well-being, becomes a beacon of self-discipline and self-love. These 9 truths illustrate that when you reclaim your power, focus on yourself, and take a step back, you compel others to confront the reality of losing you. It's not just about making them want you. It's about understanding your own worth and letting them see it too, often when it's already nearly too late. Because at the end of the day, the path to true happiness and fulfillment begins when you choose to stand up for yourself, when you prioritize your own needs and desires over the complacency of others. Remember that you are the cause of your joy, the captain of your destiny. Don't let yourself be dazzled by those who once failed to appreciate what you had to offer. Let their regret be a testament to your light, and let your solo journey be a trek filled with self-discovery and empowerment. Allow yourself to shine without fear of what others might think. In the end, self-love isn't selfish, it's essential. So keep moving forward because the world needs to see your true self. Strong, brave, and authentic. Your best version is waiting to be discovered.